Okay, I am finally here. There we go. Sorry, I was dilly-dallying and then I realised I hadn't put my makeup on, I hadn't taken my pills, I hadn't made a drink, I hadn't done anything apart from make the thumbnail and schedule the game. So... But hi Arisu, hi Kennedy, hi Irisu, hi Emily, welcome to the stream. I think this one is about a very ordinary girl, as is always the case in the topic games, gets isekai into this world which she reads on, I don't know, a web novel or something. So I guess it's an isekai one. But anyway, let me start. Notice, other than the first two scenes, the game is partially voiced during CGs only.
It's just my luck. Why does it have to be pouring now? Oh, I want to go home. I'll be soaked by the time I reach the subway.
Very relatable. Hi Varga, welcome! I run down the street, holding my bag over my head in a futile attempt to block the rain. I do my best to stay underneath the shop awnings. The cars speeding down the street kick up puddles that shower me in rainwater. I'm ill-prepared for such weather. I didn't even take a hoodie with me, let alone an umbrella. The damp cold seeps into my body, making me shiver.
This day sucks.
My boss yelled at me again, and I had to cover for my sick co-worker on top of doing my own tasks.
An office job sucks.
Oh, bless her. Most relatable thing first, I know, right? Do let me know what the volume of the game is like, if it's too loud or too low, or, you know, do let me know. Because I can't tell personally, because I'm not listening to the stream. I recently graduated from college and got this boring job where all I do is call people to sell them beauty products.
Adult life sucks.
This main character is basically saying everything we're all probably thinking in our own lives. It hadn't taken me long to tire of the monotony of adult life.
I just want to curl up under a blanket and read web novels.
Speaking of which, I got a notification on the Webnovel app that my favourite book was updated.
Being the heroine of a fantasy romance novel would be such an amazing life. Fighting to save a kingdom from impending doom, wielding magical powers, and falling in love with a hottie.
I should take a look at the app. I pull out my phone and unlock it. Is she gonna get hit by a car? Is it gonna be Truck-kun again? I actually worked with the dev of this game before, updated a side story VN of a larger fantasy setting project. Oh, that's cool. So you must be a bit like, oh, about this one as well. I pull out my phone and unlock it. I open the app, looking at all the updates.
I've got so much to read on the subway.
Looking forward to my next story, I run through the crosswalk. Is it Truck-kun?
What?
By the time I look up to see the light was actually red, not green, it's too late. Oh, here we go. I'm in the middle of the crosswalk and with a truck driving straight at me. Should I take a step back or run forward? Quick! Think, Celine. I take a step back. Oh my. I'm personally too lazy to want to be in a fantasy novel. With my chance, I would be unalived very quickly. Same, Irisu, same. I would look for the most strong, dependable person and just latch onto them. Batter my eyelashes and, you know. No, Truck. It hurts. The pain, it's excruciating. My whole body hurts so much. Until I suddenly stop feeling anything anymore. The absence of pain brings me relief. I let my life go. So what game is it that you worked with them on, Varga? Hi Nanomi, welcome. The next thing I know, I'm floating in a cotton-like substance. I feel comforted, safe even. Have I really died? Am I in heaven now? Ah, but I wanted to read the last chapter of my favourite author's new web novel. Now I'll never find out what happens to the heroine in the end. A chuckle escapes me, a loud sound in this quiet place. I'm pathetic, aren't I? I died and now I'm just thinking of my hobbies, not my parents or my friends. Not that I had a great relationship with anybody anyway. I was quite a loner. What is that sound? In the emptiness, I can hear someone singing, an angelic voice. It's calling to me.
You must fight on.
Technically, Truck can only make her dream come true. Be careful what you wish for, Fox. It's so true. I must? But I'm dead. I don't have to do anything. I love that. I love that. I am dead. So I can be as lazy as I want. Suddenly, I feel a pull. My soul gets grabbed and yanked toward the golden whirlpool. I scream, but no sound comes out of my mouth. I close my eyes, the shifting reality around me making me feel dizzy. When my senses return to me, the first thing I notice is the fresh scent of a forest. I open my eyes and look around. I'm in the middle of the woods. Lush canopies of trees above me sway gently in a light breeze. There's something heavy in my hand, and when I look down, I see that I'm holding a simple hunting bow. My feet, clad in riding boots, sink into the damp green moss of the forest floor. Cute! I'm out hunting, I realise. Wait, how's this possible? I just died and... It's been ages since I handled a bow. The last time I practiced archery was in middle school, back when my parents could still afford to spoil me. Wow, 10 folks here. I know, right? Yesterday there was like 3. Which meant 4 people who have not left a like yet. Oh, Irisu, you're adorable. I love that. It's true, guys. All likes help me a lot. Like it's just that little click of the button and it does wonders. Just saying. I also hadn't put on such high boots today for work, or these fancy pants, or this jacket. The outfit looks almost like it belongs in a Korean webcomic.
Who am I?
Celeste? Where are you, Celeste?
Somehow I suddenly realise I'm supposed to be hiding. Hiding from what or whom? I don't understand. I only know I must seek cover. The urge to disappear from sight is so strong that I don't even question it. I find a thicket of bushes and dive into them, not caring that my outfit will get dirty and torn. From my hiding spot, I observe the situation, holding my breath. Oh, red-haired, long-haired guy. Those two seem to always come together for me. Red hair, white hair, long hair. A handsome man with red hair tied back in a ponytail runs towards me. He's wearing some sort of fantasy armor and he has 2 thin swords on his hips. I recognize this person. That's slide animation. This man is my knight, Levy Parent. Wait, I don't have a knight. I'm Celine. I'm a 21-year-old simple office worker, fresh out of college with a job in sales. Is that really the whole truth, though? Levy turns left and right, searching for me.
Celeste? Please, come out.
Failing to discover me, he runs off. I recognize this guy's looks from somewhere, and the name Celeste is familiar too. No, I couldn't have. Did I get reincarnated? Here? Out of all the books or games that could have been the setting for my reincarnation, why did I have to end up in the BL tragic... BL? I love it! The BL tragic fantasy web novel. Why this one? Saint of the Golden Bow is the work's name. It was recently adapted as a webcomic. That's how popular it had become. The book used to be one of my favourites, but the world of the story is not a nice place to live. There's a war going on with the Demon Queen. And Celeste? Why did I have to be reincarnated as her? What I just witnessed was the opening scene of the book. Before Levi is chosen to become the titular saint, he goes out hunting with his unrequited love, the lady he's serving. Oh! I'm sorry for leaving early yesterday. I somehow lost focus once she was in the elevator. I don't remember anything that happened after that. I was too traumatized by the idea of begging for a job. It was too realistic for you, Irisu. I did give a like. Oh, thank you, Emily. That's sweet of you. I wouldn't complain to watch a VL. Oh my god, this is fun. Okay. He is supposed to protect Celeste, but he loses sight of her at some point, and uh-oh. An ungodly sound makes the hair... If this... I one day want an indie dev to introduce a character like that, and then they die, and you never get to see them again. Oh, that's so cruel. I love it. Sorry. Too costly for budget, though, isn't it, to do that? It'd be too wasteful. Anyway, an ungodly sound makes the hairs on my skin stand up. The creature that made the sound appears to my right. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. An abomination. A demon. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of Shattered Souls, actually. The imp's leathery wings flap in the air. Then the creature flies towards me. It has spotted me. This is the moment when Celeste Decaries dies a miserable death to become part of Levi's tragic backstory. But I just died from being hit by a truck. I don't want to die again. Especially not in a scripted event where I'm supposed to just fade away so I can serve as a part of someone else's tragedy. Not doing anything to save myself is not like me at all. The imp is still far enough away from me for me to attempt to save my life. I have to act quickly. The monstrosity is coming closer and closer. My hands are sweaty and my arms are shaking.
I refuse to give up.
Oh, this music. Shoot the demon with the bow. Call for Levi's help as loud as This is me. But that is probably the one that you should go for. Shattered Souls is a good one. Yeah, it was really, really fun. I think it was Shattered Soul. Yeah, Shattered Souls. So I'm getting confused with Glass Heart because obviously they're the same people, aren't they? That was another one that I streamed, actually. Okay, right. I'm gonna pick the one that I would go for, even though I feel like it's gonna lead to my death. Levi is my knight. It's his duty to protect me. If he realizes I'm in danger, he'll come help me. I scream his name at the top of my lungs. Tears roll down my cheeks. The imp gets closer and closer to me. My heart beats erratically in my chest. Levi! Oh no, maybe I did pick the wrong answer, but this is more me. I can't help it. Shoot it. Don't let Levi steal our XP and loot. Oh my god, I love your mentality. You know me, that's the... It does look like an RPG, to be fair. I can almost feel its clawed hands ready to dig into my arms when Levi runs out from between the trees, his two swords ready for a fight. I don't know if it's only me, but the song is a bit loud on my side. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that wouldn't surprise me because it's quite loud for me as well, so maybe it's just... How about that? But yeah, thank you for letting me know, because obviously I can't tell. Without a moment of hesitation, he impales the monstrosity with one of his weapons and cleanly cuts off its head with the other. I gasp. Levi's movements are so efficient, and he doesn't seem to be bothered by the black demon blood that splashes on his armor. I'm alive. Levi came to save me in time after all. I slumped to my knees, still holding the bow in my hand. In the heat of the moment, I forgot that I could have used it to defend myself. What if I had shot and missed, though? What matters most is that I'm safe now. Levi walks up to me and kneels down before me. Do let me know if it still is too loud or is now too quiet, because obviously this is a teamwork process. I give his question some thought, but I feel so weak. I wipe my tears away.
I don't think so.
I'll carry you.
No, there's no need for...
Oh! Oh, I like the CG, it's so cute. I mean, there's a reason why I used it for, you know, the thumbnail. It's my favourite out of the ones that are allowed to be used. I think the artist's done a really good job with, you know, the male character, and I like the eyes. Voice sounds quiet. Okay, is there like... There's configs, audio. Maybe... Oh, there we go. Wait. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do these like this. And then increase the music a bit more. There we go. Levi takes me in his arms bridal style. The bow slips from between my fingers. Our close proximity is so embarrassing. I want to hide my face, but I can only do so against his chest, an option which is less than ideal.
My bow.
Don't worry about the weapon. I will return for your bow later. Right now, it's of utmost importance that I carry you back to the safety of the mansion.
Aww.
But it's...
I still protest. Levi gives me a glare.
No buts. Let me do my job, for once.
Forget when I say voice volumes GI maximum. Yeah, I changed my streaming program volume, so... But now it's adjusted a little bit. Hopefully it's good. I let out a long sigh and stop resisting. Levi walks towards where we left our horses, or so my memory as Celeste recalls. So I really am Celeste now? I'm part of the world of the Saint of the Golden Bow, even though I was supposed to die. So what will my survival mean for the story now? Oh, she's pretty. All washed up, my lady. After an awkward bath where I had to let my maid Linda wash me, I'm finally dressed in a nightgown and allowed to rest. My body feels weak, the shock of dying, reincarnating, then almost dying again finally taking a toll on me. A loud yawn escapes my lips. I cover my mouth. I'm going to lie down. Is there anything else you need from me? I forgot I'm supposed to formally dismiss Linda whenever I want to be alone. She's Celeste's servant after all. I'm good for now. I'll call for you later if I need anything. All right, my lady. Linda curtsies before me and then she exits the room. The maid is adorable. Yeah! Answer to title, absolutely. Hi HPN, welcome. And yeah, I don't, for me it depends on the web novel. If it's a fantasy and I'm defeating demon queens, oh god. Saying that, it does sound more fun than a daily office job, boring life, admittedly. Why, what's your favorite web novel? I sink into the softness of the mattress, taking a good look around the room. This place has an undeniably expensive, polished, fancy look. Somebody has tried very hard to make the atmosphere more feminine, and I know it wasn't Celeste. The Celeste the book mentions is quite the tomboy, caring little for girly things like dolls and decorations. She doesn't have good social skills, she lacks proper knowledge of etiquette, and she dances like an elephant. Instead, she's great at archery, hunting and riding horses. However, the society deems all of those activities inappropriate for a lady, and thus she doesn't have many friends. Sounds so much like me in my past life. The only two people who really like Celeste are Levi, who, for some reason that isn't really explained in the book, adores his lady, and... Celeste, are you alright? Celeste's twin sister Eurydice. Aww, cute! Is it different artists working on some of these sprites, I wonder? Because her and the main character look similar, but the maid looked a bit different. Is it just me? Because I know with some indie otome games, they kind of split the work across different artists. Like, I think Particles of Reality was like that as well. Yeah, in office jobs, you don't risk being eaten by imps, boring. But in office jobs, you have a chance of being bullied by colleagues into quitting because they don't like you. So, you know, yeah, definitely. I want to be in one of those row fans. Maid have names, same my mum. Oh, really? Same name as your mum? The book also briefly mentions Eurydice as part of Levi's backstory, simply describing her as the more ladylike twin who loves pink and romance novels. Aww. I feel Celeste's emotions for Eurydice in my heart though. Celeste really cherishes her sister. Celeste? Eurydice notices that I'm staring at her with a faint smile on my face. I'm alright. Thanks for worrying about me. She rushes over to my bed, fixing the pillow under my head and helping me sit up. Well, of course I'm worried about you. You're my beloved sister. What would I do if I lost you? I'm fine. I've been through worse. Levi was with me. I'll go with Levi was with me. Levi was with me. Nothing bad could have happened to me under his protection. You think I don't know how you always run off from Levi during your hunts, making excuses that you have to be alone because he's stomping too loud, scaring your prey off? Busted, I know that is exactly what Celeste has always done. I take a glance at Celeste's memories, wondering if she ever realizes Levi was in love with her and if running off was her way of trying to avoid the awkwardness of his puppy-like adoration. Can answer that. Oh, hi Transparent Games, welcome. These are the people who worked on this game, by the way, just so the viewers know. The game has 24 character sprites of the base game, so despite us working on it for 4 years, it was impossible to have everything done with one artist. Ah, I see. That makes sense. Okay, I always wonder because, you know, I've seen it quite a few times in indie games, I think. Ah, 6 of them. It's quite a few. If you think about time, though, it makes total sense. I feel a touch of awkwardness, unsure of how to deal with the way Levi has always viewed her. The situation wasn't comfortable for Celeste at all. It also kind of explains, I suppose, why like big company games only have like, you know, a handful of characters. Dev in the house, welcome Des. And Levi has always viewed her. The situation wasn't comfortable for Celeste at all. I've pushed her feelings aside to focus on my conversation with Eurydice. You got me. Did you split from Levi this time too, sister? I did. Figures. Eurydice lets out an annoyed sigh. I give her a wide smile, enjoying our conversation despite her chastising me. I really like having a friend whom I can talk to freely. I really would like to know what happened today, though. Levi babbled something about a demon. I'd like to know more too, for the matter. Father walks into the room without knocking or otherwise warning us of his presence. He has a stern look on his face, but that's just his usual expression. The joy I felt at talking to Eurydice momentarily evaporates. New emotions from Celeste surface in my heart. Her father has always made her feel lesser, inadequate. I review her memories of him and curse inwardly. To say her father favours Eurydice wouldn't at all capture the severe inequality of the situation. During some of their past interactions, he has been outright abusive, belittling Celeste and calling her names. Oh god. I stiffen my spine, sitting up straight. I took so much crap as Celine, and I'm not going to do it again as Celeste. What happened today that's left you so disheveled? I look down at myself. The only blemish in my appearance is a scratch on my knee from when I hid in the bushes. The mark is so small that I didn't even notice it while bathing. Otherwise, I'm wearing a fresh nightgown and all cleaned up. There's nothing disheveled about me. I give Father a defiant look. As you can see, I am fine. Thank you for asking. Father huffs. You and your sister's 18th birthday is in 3 days. We're leaving for the capital the day after tomorrow. If you're not healed up in top form by then, I'll be up and running by tomorrow. My body feels tired and heavy, but it's nothing a bit of sleep can't fix. I see Eurydice scoot slightly to the left, as if taking a step away from Father's negative energy. You'd better be. I don't want you to ruin the golden bow ceremony for your sister. You're forbidden to leave the mansion for the next 3 days. I open my mouth to tell him off, but my eyes land on Eurydice. She shakes her head slightly. To honour her wishes, I decide not to agitate Father any further. All right. I nod. I don't feel like going hunting or horseback riding anyway. Someone would quickly notice that I'm not as good as those activities as Celeste should be. I'm still not sure how much of her skills I can access for myself. Hi, I'm supposed to do stuff, but I'm too curious. We've heard bigger companies have a lead artist and some assistant artists who taught the style. Oh, I see. Interesting. So you're not necessarily looking at the work of the artist you think you are. Huh. Levi set me in front of himself on his horse to return us to the mansion earlier, so I have no idea if I actually know how to ride a horse myself. I only rode a horse once or twice as Celine when I was a kid, not nearly enough to match Celeste's experience. Now tell me what happened. Levi killed a demon? What? So the story he told me was true. What was such a monstrosity doing in the middle of Lakari Empire lands? We're far from the warfront. The imp was conveniently there to kill Celeste for Levi's tragic backstory. I want to tell the truth. But of course I won't. Father and Eurydice would take me for a madwoman if I babble about them being characters from a novel. I don't know, but it attacked me, so I screamed loud enough for Levi to come to my side. He killed the imp in 2 blows. Levi's sword skills are impressive. He's also great with a bow. Father sits down on the chair next to the entrance of my room and hides his face in his hands. I knew my daughter wasn't much of a noble lady, but this... He mumbles loudly enough for both Eurydice and I to hear him. My sister and I share a smile. Why wasn't your knight at your side when the demon attacked you? I should choose my words carefully. I don't want Levi to take the blame for my actions. I ran off on him again. I wanted to hunt on my own. Of course. He lets out a loud sigh, like I'm burdening him more than he can bear. My body takes this moment to remind me how tired I am. A big yawn escapes my lips. I cover my mouth with my hand. Rest. Father gets up and gestures for Eurydice to leave. I wonder if the father actually does care for Celeste, you know? And he's just like, this is tough love sort of thing, but he doesn't need to with Eurydice because she's like the perfectly prim and proper lady, if you will. Eurydice nods and walks behind him out of the room. She turns back to me when she's in my doorway and gives me a warm smile. Get some rest. I'll be back later. Hello, I saw the Isekai'd and the title and came running. Hi, Hika, welcome. Yeah, I think it's like quite a popular concept, isn't it? And it was Truck-kun that got her. Again, Truck-kun. Hi, Adabani, welcome. I return her smile and sink more deeply into the bed, making myself comfortable. It doesn't take long for me to fall into dreamless slumber. I want a massive teddy bear like that in my room. Not that I have the space, but... When I wake up again, the rays of morning sun pour into my room. I get out of the bed and stretch to make sure my body's working properly. I feel refreshed after my long sleep. No more weakness in my limbs. Everything in order again. Does Isekai mean? Yeah, it's basically like when someone gets flown into another dimension from another story as a different person. I walk to the desk and sit down. I take a fresh sheet of paper, hesitate when I realise there's only a quill for writing, but I won't be stopped. I produce a few scratchy letters. My handwriting looks terrible. It seems I can't directly access Celeste's skills after all. That's quite inconvenient. I can manage to write with a quill, but not very well, and only in English, of course. Oh dear. If only they allowed it, like, her memories have been transferred, right? I think. Oh no, it's based on what she's read. Oh god. I hope Truck-kun is well paid because he's overworked. You're not wrong, Irisu. I can manage to write I have to write down everything I know about the web novel Saint of the Golden Bow. So I can organise my knowledge of the world and line it up with Celeste's memories. Scratchy handwriting or not, I need to sort out all my assets. Let's start with the basics. Saint of the Golden Bow is a romantic tragedy fantasy web novel by the Korean web novelist Haneo Kim. I read the English translation on one of my favorite web novel and comic apps. The story was supposed to be turned into a webcomic and had promo art, which is how I was able to recognize Levi immediately. His design and the artwork even had him in the same outfit he was wearing on the day of the demon attack. Maybe I should also write down what a web novel is, what webcomic, what... Oh, I'm guessing this is to help you, help like the player understand what it means. I can just quickly explain it here without going through them all. So, a web novel, I think, maybe I should click it. It's like a novel on a web or on an app. So it's like you read it, it's not in the form of a book or on Kindle or anything. You read it on like a web page or an app, as far as I'm aware. Same goes for web comics. They are comics or manga that you read like on your phone. It's like formatted differently or online. I think it's not a, you know, photocopy like old school of manga on a website. It's actually like formatted and drawn and written specifically for the web. BL is short for boys love. It's any sort of media that involves two men falling in love in like a cute romantic way. It can, if it's like R18, it can be very messed up, although I think there's some argument of referring it not as BL, but yaoi. I don't know. I don't know the details about that. That seems to be a discussion of its own. Oh no, I got that, but is it like a book she read or something? Because he said, oh, she only knows as much as she read. Did she get spirited away? Yeah, she got Isekai'd into her favorite web novel. And then it's being made into a webcomic, which is why she was able to recognize the people immediately and that she's being put in this situation. I want no BL in this fancy. You make me laugh. You've suddenly turned into the Japanese otome community or something. I still can't get over how much of a fuss was made over the itsy bitsy teeny bit of BL, if you can even call it that, in Tengoku Struggle and Verse Evermore. That I was like, what is this? What is this? R18 BL is can get really messed up. Nitro Chiral, anyone? Oh, I have yet to play a Nitro Chiral game. I strongly disagree, Fancy. Oh, is the web novel a BL and she's a minor character? So yes, she is. This web novel is supposed to be a BL web novel, and she was a very minor character at the beginning that existed just for Levi's tragic backstory. Then what is female main character doing here? It's because she's going to change the, you know, ways of the story. Shattered Souls, we got Isekai'd too. Yeah, that's true. Shattered Souls. I think it's because Otome, or what's it called? Oh, I can't remember. Otome, the Otome event in May. That was, I think, the theme was Isekai, being Isekai'd or something. So I feel like that may be why we've got a few like pop up. So she dies. Yep, pretty much. Nothing else. I've got the basics, that's enough. I get up for a moment and wander over to the mirror. I touch a hand to the glass. The design of Celeste wasn't included in the promo art. I take in my new features, purple hair and pink eyes, a slender figure. She looks adorable. There's no denying it. I'm really not Celine anymore. The understanding that I have reincarnated into the novel finally settles in my mind. I feel calm, calmer than I ever thought I would be if something out of a novel suddenly changed the course of my life. There's no fighting the reality, is there? As strange as this situation is, I'm Celeste and I have her memories, but somehow I'm Celine as well, equipped with knowledge of this world that Celeste never had. I walk back to the desk and sit down to continue organising my thoughts. Maybe after I process everything, I will break down and cry about my fate. Right now, however, I don't feel like moping around. Instead, I want to fight for a better fate. Back to Saint of the Golden Bow. The book starts with Celeste's death event. Levi was in love with this lady for years, but the actual love interest of the story is Prince Noah. See, that's where the BL creeps in. Though I guess that's going to change with the course of events. The MC was supposed to be a narrative sacrifice whose death would cause great drama for the protag. Alas, Truck-kun came along and threw a wrench in the proceedings. Yeah. Celeste has to die at the beginning of the book to make Levi feel at his lowest when the Golden Bow chooses him as the saint. Why didn't Celeste save herself if she was said to be so great at archery? I'm glad Levi came to help me. I doubt I would have been able to defeat the demon on my own, even though I have some archery skills. If this is BL, it's not BL fancy. I think what's happening is there's a change of events, which is going to turn this into non-B, like it's going to be Otome. Fancy, I think you'll live. Jesus. It's going to be Otome. It was probably part of the Otome, Otome jam. That's it. Fancy. I can't. Are you being silly? What is this? Must be book logic. She had to die for the story in the Saint of the Golden Bow to proceed the way it did. Soon after Celeste's death, Levi's quest to save the Lakari Empire from the Demon Queen begins. However, he doesn't go alone. Noah, as well as High Priest Elijah, the second love interest, both accompany him on the journey. So I'm guessing in this version, Noah and the High Priest Elijah end up becoming love interests for this main character. Noah and Levi fall in love. Elijah falls in love with Levi too, but Levi chooses Noah. Oh, juicy and bittersweet. Please tell me the main protagonist is not going to become yandere for her and change the genre. Oh my god. When the final confrontation with the Demon Queen happens, the love Noah and Levi share is an important component of defeating the fiend. Through their love, the magic of the weapon becomes stronger. However, this story is a tragic one. Even though Levi defeats the Demon Queen, he perishes in the process. Noah and Elijah live on, and peace returns to the Lakari Empire. I remember crying at the end of the book, and cursing the author for writing such a beautiful yet heart-wrenching tale. I've reread the novel twice. Saint of the Golden Bow is really one of my favourites, and I was silly there, and my brain went blank when the most important part happened. Oh god, I thought I'd caused that to crash. He perishes in the process. Noah and Elijah live on, and peace returns. Oh, I see, so the main character dies. Right, okay. I still don't appreciate being reincarnated into this world though, especially not as Celeste, whose only purpose in the story is to add angst to Levi's life. No yandere, sorry, transparent games. Oh dear me. I do love yanderes though. But yeah, certainly not for everyone. I think this is a bit more like focused, from what I can tell, on the fantasy genre, rather than like it going messed up, you know. I didn't die when I was supposed to though, and now the story has continued regardless. I wonder how many things will change now because Celeste is alive. Would Levi still be able to fall in love with Noah, despite the fact that I'm still here? He seems pretty hung up on Celeste after all. I look into Celeste's memories to examine her feelings about Levi. I sense a mixture of emotions: anger, awkwardness, desperation. Celeste didn't like to be on the receiving end of Levi's feelings. She badly wanted him to stop looking at her with romantic intentions. What Celeste really needed was to have a friend in him, not a lover. As a noble lady, she especially found his feelings for her inappropriate. She even tried to set him up with other people of various genders who were in his station. Levi always admitted they were attractive whenever she asked, but he never expressed any romantic interest. Celeste was the only one for him. Levi's responses frustrated Celeste to the point that she tried her best to get away from him, which ultimately led to her death. What a sad relationship. I can't quite hate Celeste for being cold to Levi now that I know her distress about his love for her, but at the same time I do pity Levi. If Levi was this obsessed with Celeste, how had he moved on to Noah so quickly? His change of heart wasn't really explained in the novel, and I remember some people voicing their opinions on the forums about how unrealistic this plot point was. I had always ignored those complaints because I really adored the Noah and Levi relationship. Celeste would surely have disapproved of it though, considering the boys had vastly different positions in society. But the forbidden aspect of their romance was what had made everything more exciting to me as a modern reader. Ugh, I really want my ship to sail and for boys to get together, but I don't know if that outcome is possible with Celeste still being alive, so I guess she's a big BL fan. Levi was clearly at least bisexual, judging from his response to the romantic candidate Celeste had presented to him, but that fact didn't matter if he was unwilling to consider any other lovers. Maybe he would still change his mind if he met Noah. Maybe it would be a greater love, one established at first sight. If Levi and Noah don't fall in love at the end of the quest, will Levi still be able to defeat the Demon Queen? I shudder. What if I've broken this story beyond repair by avoiding my demise? What was I supposed to do though? Just die? That's so not like me. I'm a fighter. Maybe I can change the story even further so that Levi can still survive the final encounter. I have no idea how to make this plan work, but maybe opportunities to influence the world further will present themselves to me. After all, though the thought is chilling, what's happening here isn't just a web novel story. Saint of the Golden Bow is my new reality. I agree with Celine, I would want my boys together. Maybe we can be a trio sandwich. A ménage à trois. I can imagine there being like 3P endings in this. Maybe they're setting it up for that. Which, so many people look for 3P endings nowadays. On the day of Celeste and Eurydice's 18th birthday, Father takes us to the capital to attend the Golden Bow ceremony. Levi had his 18th birthday a few days ago as well. Since he is of lower standing than the Count's family, Father got the approval of the church for Levi to attend our ceremony together with us instead of his own a few days earlier. Your knight has to guard you at all times, Father had said to Celeste before I reincarnated into her body. After the encounter with the imp, he's become even more convinced that Levi shouldn't leave my side. Not that Levi is complaining about having to stick close to me, for obvious reasons. Now, Eurydice, Levi, and I stand in the middle of the chapel in the royal palace in Solus, Lakari Empire's capital. Behind us are the many other people who will be tested. Before us, the High Priest Elijah Soren takes a spot behind the titular Golden Bow, the fabled artifact that will choose the saint one day. I see. This is the second love interest, I'm guessing. I'm going to a meeting for an hour, but if you're still playing after that, I'll drop by again. Okay. Note that this and like the live chat and everything will stay as a VOD on my channel. So if you're curious about watching the reactions, you can still like come back and watch them, you know. You beat me, Irisu. I was about to suggest an alternate ending with a live Prince Demon Queen threesome. Oh my god. But isn't it only Noah and Levi in love with each other, or the OTP? What's the OTP? Oh, the original protagonist. Wait. I think what happens is Noah and Levi eventually end up together, but I'm guessing there's like a triangle relationship, a thing going on through bits of the story. That's my guess. He's so pretty, he really is. I think Levi would be the second male lead. Yeah. What the hell is Bertie doing? Bertie? Where are you? I hear him like scratching something, you know? Be right back. This one kind of looks like a paused anime kind of art style. And Bertie was just doing this on his bed. I was like, where is he? But he's hidden behind my sofa. Bertie be breaking the house. I'm just glad he never chewed wires when he was a puppy. The only thing he chewed was socks, and he would steal underwear from the you know, the hanging thing where you hang your laundry after it's come out. Yeah, he would steal that, and two of my absolute favorites got destroyed in the process, and I'm very mad because it has to be matching kind of girly, you know, so that was both bras in the bin. I was like crying. I'd only bought them like how long ago? Like 5 months ago or something? I was so sad. They were from Japan as well. Not that you asked, but I just wanted to complain about that. Liking the 80s, 90s anime style art. This does feel that way. I know that day will be today, since Levi is the one who will be chosen. I eye the bow with suspicion. Light reflects off its gold-covered surface. The design is pretty and elaborate. Looks like a pain in the ass to use as a weapon. Too ornamental for my taste.
We are all gathered here today to see if the golden bow, the weapon given to us by our Lord to help us one day defeat the vile demon queen, will finally choose its saint.
And it's going to choose the female protagonist, isn't it? Hence why Saintess of the golden bow. He never attacked the plushies. That's something I'm scared of. Yeah, no, he never attacked the plushies. Apart from the ones we gave him that were made for him. Yeah, he's been very good. I think it's because we constantly told him off whenever he like brought us socks. Well, we didn't tell him off. We praised the hell out of him every time he brought us socks. So instead of playing with them, he started bringing this to us so that we'd take them and give him lots of attention. And then he lost interest eventually. The doggo massacring the underwear sound like an inspiration for a good comedic slice of life scene. It's so true. Okay.
On this beautiful morning, when the sun's rays fall through the windows of our chapel, let us give our gratitude to the Lord. He has given us means to end the war that has been raging for so many decades.
I've never been particularly religious, even in my past life. I especially don't believe in a fantasy god, but...
Let us give our gratitude.
Let us give our gratitude.
When Eurydice and Levi bow their heads and say the words of a prayer, along with all the other people in the hall, I mumble the words as well.
Let us give our gratitude.
I don't want to draw suspicion to myself after all.
20 years ago, the blessed blacksmith was bestowed with the Lord's inspiration and crafted the golden bow. He worked tirelessly day and night until finally he completed the artifact. Ever since then, the people of the Lokari Empire have sought to be tested on the day of their 18th birthday by the golden bow. The artifact will choose its wielder. That person will become the saint and be tasked with defeating the Demon Queen, who has terrorized our borders for 23 years.
I'm glad Elijah reminds us of the history of the bow. I've forgotten some of the details.
I will now call forth today's attendees to be tested. Each of you just needs to touch the golden bow once, and its judgment will be bestowed on you.
Oh, it's funny hearing Bertie reminds me when we had Chappie singing in the background. Yeah. Oh, Chappie and Bertie are two opposite sides of the coin. Chappie's just like naughty and evil in every single way. And cheeky. Whereas Bertie is very like dog-like. He's very obedient. He's very sweet. He lets me shove my face in his face and he doesn't care. He puts up with me a lot. Saying that I do like shove my face in Chappie's every now and then. But if I do it too often, my nose hurts because he, you know, eventually bites it, so. Yeah, Chappie doesn't appreciate it nor tolerates me as much as Bertie does. Elijah takes out a sheet of paper and reads the first name from the list. Eurydice Decaries, daughter of Count Decaries. Eurydice approaches the bow. She puts a hand on the artifact. Nothing happens. Of course, what else did I expect? Levi is a saint. The golden bow will only glow for him. A frown appears on the high priest's brow as he reads the next name. Celeste Decaries, daughter of Count Decaries. I take a deep breath and step onto the podium, reminding myself I shouldn't expect anything. I put my hand on the weapon. For a moment, nothing happens, but then the bow glows. Its light getting brighter and brighter with each second, which means guess who's gonna perish in the process of defeating the queen? The light feels scorching hot. I close my eyes, worrying I'll go blind if I don't. You must fight on. I have to put on the angel voice. I hear the angelic voice again. Was the bow the one speaking to me when I reincarnated? Or was it the god of light himself? The thought that I may have been addressed by a deity is frightening. No. Gods aren't real. You're not religious, Celine. The golden bow. The burning light makes my skin feel like it's on fire, so I take my hand away from the bow. But my hand continues burning, the searing pain climbing up my arm to my chest. Ah! I scream. My head is spinning. The pain is too much for me to handle. I want it to stop. Stop. I'm on fire. I'm dying. Not again. Lady Celeste. Sister. Levi and Eurydice are calling to me, but I don't have the strength to respond. My consciousness fades, darkness taking me into its comforting embrace. I feel so groggy. I'm in the guest room of the apartment that was assigned to our family when we first arrived at the palace for the ceremony. The impersonal decor makes the place feel cold and unwelcoming. I know the room is supposed to look grand and elegant, but I don't feel at home here at all. Lady Celeste can't be the Saintess of the Golden Bow. The role is too dangerous for her. I turn my head to the left. Levi and Eurydice stand by the door. Neither of them notice I'm awake. Not gonna lie though, if I got Isekai'd and this was the room I woke up in, I'd be like, yes, I've hit the jackpot! Because like hotels with a room like this, I've always thought it's kind of cool. Like there's a couple of them, you know, dotted around England naturally. And they all look like so much fun to stay in with the 4-poster bed and the, you know, the craziness. Just imagining her going on a dangerous quest to defeat the Demon Queen makes me terrified for her life. We have to stop the Church and Empress from declaring her to be the Saintess. Levi, it's not for us to decide who the Saintess is. Neither is it the choice of the Church or the Empress. It's the God of Light who singled out Celeste to be the savior of our empire. This must be some kind of mistake. Levi, you're committing blasphemy here. You can't go against God's wishes. But Lady Celeste is. Look, I know you're worried for my sister, but please mind your words. If someone other than me hears your opinion about God's choice, you may get in trouble. So I really am the Saintess of the Golden Bow? I speak up, not believing my own words. Levi and Eurydice turns to me. Eurydice runs up to the bed and takes my hand in hers. Celeste, you're awake. How are you feeling? Fine, I think. Just a bit tired. You really scared us in the chapel. You screamed like someone was tearing you apart. The light of the bow entering my body felt like it was burning me. That sounds terrible. Tears well up in Eurydice's eyes. I squeeze her hand, trying to comfort her. I glance behind her to where Levi still stands by the door. He has a defeated look on his face. When he notices me watching him, he finally approaches the bed, standing behind Eurydice. Oh, I do apologize for tapping no noise. That's Bertie during his bow. I can't really do anything about it. Oh, it's not a bone. It's there's this acorn chew toy we've got him, but there's a hole with like stuff inside, and this dog loves taking things out of or breaking toys. Like, he literally sees them as a puzzle. He finds it, kind of chews at different parts, sees bits that like the weak point, and then actively goes for it. And I think he's found the thing that's inside the toy, and now is like trying his absolute best to get the These vote. The MC is ordained by divine right to be the Saintess. Hail, hail, and Levi is skirting close to heresy here. I love the sis. I know, right? She's adorable. I can't be the Saintess. It was supposed to. I cut myself off when I realized I almost just said what I said, that Levi was supposed to be the chosen as the saint. And the mic is picking it up. I am so sorry. Is it like really bad? I can kick him out, but I would feel bad. I can't tell them what happens in the book. They don't even know they live in a fictional world. For some inexplicable reason, the Golden Bow, or the God of Light himself, has chosen me instead as the savior of the Lakari Empire. Why me? I ponder out loud. I'm so confused. I don't want to be the Saintess. Why has the story suddenly changed so much? I only did my best to survive. Did the fact that I wasn't slain by the demon really create such a severe butterfly effect? Or had I already been chosen at the moment of my reincarnation? I remember the angelic voice of the bow. Maybe I can... No, don't kick kick him out. You can have the... There we go. It may... Let the boost stay again. Oh, dear me. Okay, right. Well, that's not working, so we'll just move it a little bit closer. I love it how I've got my necklace just sitting around, and it just happens to be a little arrow and a heart. Isn't this cute? It's like one of my favorite necklaces. Bertie supremacy. Oh, dear me. Okay, I remember the angelic voice of the bow, sounding like the voice I had heard after dying in the accident in Selene. I'm sure you'll do fine. You're excellent in archery. Oh. Eunice smiles through her tears, trying to reassure me. I'm not as confident about my fighting skills as Eurydice's. Celeste may have been good at the bow, but I can't access her full abilities. Judging by my handwriting, I can only manage the bare minimum of what she could do. I'm not proficient in any of her skills. I only know how to use the bow somewhat from my experience as Selene in middle school. Oh, this whole situation is so depressing. No, I mustn't lose heart. I have to stay strong and face my fate head on. What's going to happen to me now? The Empress has summoned you for an audience 3 hours from now. What does the Empress want with me? Eurydice wipes her tears away. She didn't say, but we think she intends to personally congratulate you on your new role. Alright, I suppose I should start getting ready then. First, High Priest Elijah requested to check on you as soon as you woke up. Check on me? With his light magic, he wants to see if your body and mind are alright after being touched by God's grace. I'm feeling okay, but I suppose I shouldn't turn away a member of the church. Not complying with their wishes might be dangerous now that I'm somewhat part of their organization. The reality is so overwhelming that I would really prefer to be alone now, but there's no time for me to mull over what has happened. The chance to break down will come later after everyone goes to sleep. Okay, you can tell the High Priest I will see him. I'll go bring him here. Levi turns around and walks out of the room in long strides. Eurydice gives me a comforting smile. Everything's going to be okay. I hope so. I thought Celeste and Eurydice was the same person. It's because they're twin sisters. Silence falls between us, but it's a cozy, warm kind of quiet. I get the feeling that, no matter what happens, Eurydice will support me. I envy Celeste for having such a great sister and friend. I should use this opportunity to ask Eurydice some questions about my situation. I'll just have to be careful about how I broach the topics. Yeah, I think they're identical twins. I don't want to reveal my jumbled knowledge about the world. Okay, right. What does it mean to have the role of the Saintess? How long has the Empire waited for the Saintess? How do we know about the Demon Queen? Yeah, let's go through it. What does it mean to have the role of the Saintess? What exactly does it mean to have the role of the Saintess? The Saintess is the fourth most important person in the Lakari Empire, after the Empress, her Emperor Consort, and the Crown Prince. Which otome game would you want to be Isekai'd into? That's true, actually. Oh, thank you for the idea. I'll do that. I'll record that tomorrow. You're on par with the head of the church, the High Priest. Am I part of the church now? You're not a priestess, if that's what you're asking. You're still a noble, so you can marry someone of noble standing if you'd like. You're not sworn like the clergy to only marry within the church. I remember this subplot regarding Elijah. He was unable to be with Levi because Elijah was only allowed to marry someone from the priesthood. Forbidden love, a popular trope. It was an unusual plot point for a web novel to explore, a religious figure falling in love. Still, people admired the author for bringing something different to the table, even though the main ship had remained Noah and Levi. Marriage, that feels so far away. We're 18 now, so father will probably help us find suitable suitors soon. I would like to marry for love, if at all possible. Love. Love was one of the components needed to defeat the Demon Queen. Levi and Noah's love. Would I have to fall in love with someone now that I was the Saintess? Now, if the Demon Queen turned out to be male and was really attractive and a complete red flag, that would be the character I go for. When I had the hugest crush on Overwatch Cowboy, I was fantasizing about being Isekai'd to Overwatch World. You're welcome. I can start thinking of my answer now. Love. Love was one of the components needed to defeat the Demon Queen. Levi and Noah's love. Would I have to fall in love with someone now that I was the Saintess? I hope I'll have enough time, if that's really necessary. I'm not someone who falls in love easily. Wait, does that mean I have to pursue one of the guys? Do you have someone in mind for marriage? What? Maybe? You can tell me. I'm not going to tell anybody. Maybe another time. I'm not ready to admit it myself. I chuckle. Eurydice is adorable when she's shy. Okay, how long has the Empire waited for the Saintess? As the High Priest said, the golden bow was created by the blessed blacksmith 20 years ago, before we were even born. They say he worked tirelessly day and night for 2 weeks to create the artifact. The design was bestowed upon him by the god of light himself. The blessed blacksmith said God told him in a dream that the golden bow would choose its saint when the time is right. Only the saint can wield the weapon and harness its power. What Eurydice tells me aligns with the backstory I already know from the novel, but it's good to be reminded about the details. I listen intently. What kind of power does the golden bow have? Light-aligned magic, the kind that the priests wield. It is said that only an arrow shot from the artifact will be able to kill the Demon Queen. The usual fantasy world MacGuffin then. For plot reasons, other weapons can't harm the ultimate boss. Right, makes sense. It doesn't, but Eurydice doesn't seem to be aware of how ridiculous it is that only one weapon wielded by one special person can kill the enemy that the Empire's been fighting against for decades. After the golden bow was created, the whole Lucari Empire and our allied kingdom of Durenda were tested to see if the saint was among them. But the savior wasn't found. Later, it was decided that every person would get tested on their 18th birthday, as suggested by the blessed blacksmith. 20 years passed, but the saint still wasn't found, until now. It feels so random that I was actually chosen as the Saintess, but it's my reality now. This world seems to operate on book logic anyway. What do we know about the Demon Queen? The people have seen her say she looks like a beautiful woman, except she also has horns, a tail, and a third eye on her forehead. But she's far from human. She's cruel and dangerous. She kills humans without mercy. She commands an army of demons, vile monstrosities. You saw one. Was it as ugly as they say? The imp wasn't pretty, that's for sure. The war has been going on for 23 years now. Over that time, 1/3 of Lucari Empire's lands to the east have been ravaged by war and infiltrated by the demons. They leave only ruins behind when they take over a town, their fires said to be ever burning. You'll have to travel east to defeat the Demon Queen. She's taken up residence in the Clowmond Castle. It used to be the seat of Duke Clowmond and his family, but they had to abandon their homeland to the demons 10 years ago. That news doesn't make me want to go to the border at all. It'll be like walking straight into the maws of the enemy. I fear you won't have a choice in the matter. The Empress decreed long ago that once a saint or saintess was found, they would immediately embark on the quest to defeat the Demon Queen with a party of the most capable fighters. A quest, huh? Sounds like a story from a role-playing game. Not that I expect anything else from this book world. Levi went on this quest as a saint after all. I just hope you won't have to leave too soon. I think I'll need some time to learn to wield the golden bow and to accept the whole situation. I'm sure the Empress will understand. Those are all the questions I have right now. Thank you for helping me sort through everything, sister. Eurydice gives me a right smile. That's what I'm here for. One thing's certain, the people of the Lucari Empire have been waiting for the Saintess for ages. A lot of faith will be put in your abilities. A lot will be expected from you. I don't envy you. If I could, I would share this burden with you. Thank you. I'm really moved by Eurydice's dedication to me. There's a knock on the door, then Levi's voice can be heard from the other side. High Priestess Elijah and Count Daiquiri has arrived. They can enter. Elijah comes into the room, followed by Father. Levi closes the door behind them, remaining in the living room of our apartment to guard the entrance. The High Priest bears a friendly smile. Father, on the other hand, wears his usual scowl on his face. He seems like he wants to say something. I give him an inquiring look, which is met with a glare. I don't know if I should laugh or cry at the fact that his disposition towards Celeste hasn't changed, even in the middle of such a life-changing situation. What does Celeste have to do for her father to show her affection? If I had any hope that he would be proud of me now that I had suddenly advanced to a great position in the hierarchy of the Empire, it evaporates now. I decide not to say anything to Father while Elijah is around. I don't want him to witness a fight between us, and I doubt I can hold my tongue right now. May I sit beside you? Sure. This is like Sword of Shannara on steroids. One invincible foe, one weapon, only one who can use it. What is Sword of Shannara about? Elijah approaches and sits beside me on the bed. I need to touch you to make sure you're healthy. Is that alright? Is that how light magic works? As someone who reincarnated here from Earth, I have little knowledge about magic. I don't remember a scene like this one with the High Priest in the book. Come to think of it, Levi didn't faint after touching the golden bow. He must have a much stronger resistance to pain than I do. Celeste doesn't know much about magic either. She has no magical powers of her own after all. Nobody in the Dakaris family does. I read those books a long time ago. Oh, okay. If Elijah says he has to touch me for his magic to work though, I doubt he's lying. I look at him. He stares back at me with a patient smile. The High Priest is really attractive. I never thought I would find a guy with pink hair dashing, but he must have the longest lashes I've ever seen on a man. I blush, realizing I'm checking Elijah out. He's a priest, for heaven's sake. Eurydice just reminded me that he can only marry within the clergy. He's off limits. Besides, he only wants to touch me to make sure I'm okay. Stupid hormones. I clear my throat, but I can do nothing to stop my cheeks from burning. Alright, go ahead. Oh my god. Cute. It's adorable. Elijah surprises me by leaning his forehead against mine. Before I can protest, an aura of white surrounds his body. He's really working his magic on me. I close my eyes and focus on how his magic makes me feel. His touch is pleasant and warm. I become strangely comforted. Before I realize what I'm doing, I lean in closer towards him. Elijah's chuckle makes me snap out of the comforting embrace of his magic. Is that like a slight smirk I see on his face? Or am I like, is this wishful thinking?
Light magic does have a good feel, doesn't it?
There's a twinkle in his eye and a confident smirk on his face. Okay, so there is. Is he flirting with me? Embarrassed, I pull away. Lady Celeste is healthy. I can also confirm that the golden bow's magic has entered her body. She's the Saintess. Father lets out a heavy sigh. I hope you won't embarrass me. I glare at him, pursing my lips. I want to call him out on his unkind behavior, but I stop myself. I turn back to Elijah instead. Thank you for the checkup. You're welcome. Only 2 hours remain now until Celeste has to attend the audience with the Empress. Ah yes, we should go and let Sister prepare for seeing the Empress. I want to keep talking with Elijah. If anyone can explain to me more about the golden bow's magic, it's him. Unfortunately, now is not the time. Oh, cute! SOS is a long-running fantasy book series dating back to the late 70s, I think, which has been described as a sort of Tolkien ripoff. Oh, I see. Please tell me he's an ally. I think he is. He's Elijah, so I'm assuming he would be one of the love interests. Yeah, girl, show the priest the joys of secular life. And cheeky too, oh my god. I know, right? Yeah, I would describe Shannara as we have Lord of the Rings at home. I love that. Father rings the bell. A moment later, Linda appears in the doorway. Make Celeste presentable for meeting the Empress and Emperor Consort. Yes, my lord. Everyone says their goodbyes to me and they leave me alone with my maid. I follow a step behind Father. We walk through the corridors of the palace to the throne room, where the Empress and the Emperor Consort are waiting for us. As I watch Father's back, I feel Celeste's resentment for him resurface. No, resentment isn't a strong enough term to describe her feelings. Celeste hates her father. Not without reason either. What he's done to her over the years is something I can only describe as pure, and I always do that, abuse. He's belittled her constantly, both in public and in private. His favourite title for her is his no-good daughter. He has always made her feel like she's less than Eurydice, unworthy of his praise. The only time he ever pulls his attention away from Eurydice is when Celeste misbehaves. Celeste's mother died when the two girls were young. Celeste has no memory of her and no one to shield her from her father's wrath. Maybe that situation is why Celeste is always out hunting or horseback riding, taking herself far away from father and her duties as a noble lady. And Levi? He has watched Celeste suffer at father's hand. I have a memory of him standing up for his love and father having him flogged for it. After that event, Celeste forbade her knight to ever act in her defense again in front of her father. Levi protested, but Celeste insisted, using her authority as his noble lady to make him agree. In the years that followed, they both suffered, Celeste from her father's abuse and Levi watching his love in pain. How could I not hate Celeste's father for his disgusting behaviour? A pang of loneliness shoots through my heart. My parents never abused me, but I wasn't from a picture-perfect family either. There was a lot of fighting between mum and dad before they finally divorced. I was 14 when they parted ways, and I had a lot of trouble accepting the situation wasn't my fault. I tried to help them fix their broken relationship before the divorce, but they didn't believe their marriage was worth saving. Eventually, everything fell apart, regardless of my efforts. Wow, that probably hits close to home for many people. Ever since then, I've had trouble trusting anybody enough to fall in love. I had a boyfriend in high school, but he broke up with me because I was too cold and emotionless towards him, his exact words. At the time, I just didn't know how to show love, or if I should even be open about my deep feelings for him at that early stage of our relationship. Both Celeste and Celine have their own baggage. Still, I was finding it very hard not to talk back to father whenever he was rude to me. Celeste had long since given up on their relationship and simply chose to ignore his outbursts, but letting someone belittle me wasn't my style. I realized father had stopped walking when I almost bumped into him, stopping just in time to avoid the collision. High Priest Elijah. Hello again, Saintess, called Decorous. Elijah nods at us with a soft smile. He looks me up and down. I fidget, uncomfortable with the attention. I'm not sure if he's checking me out or if he's just interested in the fancy dress Linda helped me change into. It is a beautiful dress after all. Then his eyes wandered to Levi, and he looks at him with the same appreciation. Huh. 3B ending. Well, yeah, I guess that shouldn't surprise me. I know for sure Elijah is into men. After all, he was interested in Levi in the book. I decide to join you during the audience. We're happy to have you. Are you ready to enter? I'm not, but then again, I'm not sure if I ever will be. Father nods in response to Elijah's words before I can protest. Let's enter. The guards in front of the throne room entrance open the door, and Father and Elijah enter the hall. I turn to Levi. Now more than ever I need the support of someone who I know cares for me. Even though he doesn't really care for me, but the original Celeste. Levi won't be allowed to say anything during the audience, but I still want him present at my side. That priest seems like a true player. I know, right? Which I love because, like, he really shouldn't be. Come in with me. You'll only be able to stay by the door, but I want you to be there for this conversation. All right. I enter the throne room as well now, Levi following behind me. The Empress is sitting on her throne, and the Emperor Consort is lounging in the smaller chair next to her. Oh, so these are the people. Empress looks nothing like I had imagined in my head. I was thinking like graceful, ethereal, polite, almost innocent and godly, you know? Empress Mirelle is as radiant in person as she is in Celeste's memories. Wearing a golden gown, she is the son of the Lacari Empire. Her husband, Emperor Consort Lucius, comes from our allied country, Durendal. He's called the Moon of the Lacari Empire. Looking at him makes me remember that the Lacari Empire's allied country of Durendal is a southern land, and thus its people have darker complexions. I come from the States, so finally seeing someone of colour feels familiar and comforting. It reminds me of the fact that the novel was quite diverse for a book written by a Korean web novelist. Even though there aren't too many characters of colour in Saint of the Golden Bow, the book introduces them in some important positions. Noah, the main love interest, is mixed race. When the Empress sees us approach, she gives us a bright smile. Okay. At last the prophesied Saintess stands before me in the flesh. Oh god. My mother's accent sometimes seeps into the way I speak, so the L's and R's get mixed up occasionally. People say that's like, it's, you know, stereotyping when it's saying that Japanese people do that, but it's not, and there's a good reason, because the letter R is like a mix between R and L, so whenever you pronounce words that have like L's or R's in them, it can get all muddled up in your head. Pink-haired dude's side face looks better than from the front. Oh my god, mature women in a Tomei game. Evan's showing how much she's not like I imagined. Oh, dear me. I smile and make my best attempt at curtsying, following Celeste's memory. The wince on father's face tells me I failed to move properly. For some reason, I find his expression funny. I cover my mouth so that nobody sees the smirk on my face. Why does the Empress smile look evil? This is where she's actually evil. If I embarrass father in front of the Empress, I can't say it wouldn't be enjoyable. Father and Elijah make smooth bows. Thank you for the chance to have an audience with you, Your Grace. Grace to be in your presence again, O radiant lady. Of course, how could I not gaze upon the chosen heroine with my own eyes? The Empire has been waiting her for over 20 years. Though, I'm surprised your daughter is the one who turned out to be the Saintess, Count Alaric. It wouldn't surprise me if she starts doing the, oh, you know what I mean? She gives off that vibe. A nervous chuckle escapes father's lips. She's always been good with the bow. So I've heard. Your daughter doesn't act much like a noble lady, does she? She does have a reputation for enjoying quite boyish activities. Father's face turns beet red. He's embarrassed because of me. I realise I shouldn't let myself be too happy about the situation, though. Situation though. There's too much at stake. I can't ignore the fact that, as a Saintess, I have an important role to uphold in the Locari Empire. As Eurydice explained to me, I'm the fourth most important person in the hierarchy now. No pressure. It seems the Empress finds me lacking as well, and having her, out of all people, displeased with me is not good. I remember Noah's plotline from the novel. The Empress sends him on the quest with Levi to defeat the Demon Queen, even though Noah is the heir to the throne. Or so he should be, since he's Empress Mirelle's firstborn. However, the monarch is a very controlling person. She doesn't want to give up the power of her throne to anybody, so she hopes to continue ruling through her child once she abdicates. Due to the law of the Lacari Empire, a person can only rule for 40 years before they have to pass on the role to another. The Empress is aging, but based on what I know from the novel, her hunger for power over the years has only grown. She wants to keep her influence over the politics of the Empire. However, Noah, her heir, isn't someone who can be easily controlled. The Empress has a secret second son. However, 10-year-old Matteo, whom she's raising to be completely obedient and reliant on her own opinions. Makes me wonder how she hid her pregnancy. She only sends Noah on the mission because she hopes he will die so she can establish Mato has new hair. Hair? Heir. She can't pronounce someone else the crown prince until Noah is gone. Someone as ruthless as the Empress is definitely not a good enemy to have. Or draw some laughter, that would be awesome for the Empress. Good call. It's known that Count Decorus has two daughters, the one who's a perfect image of a noble lady, and the one who's a tomboy. I suppose the girl that stands before us, although dressed in finery, is not much of a proper noble. Silence falls in the room. Everyone looks at me, expecting me to answer. Under the sudden attention, my mouth is dry and I can't find my words. They don't know much about Celeste, but rumors precede her. They have already judged her, me. Why did I think I would suddenly gain respect by becoming the Saintess when Celeste's questionable reputation has been spreading for years? In a sense, it's good that everyone expects Celeste to be quite lousy at etiquette. I have been brought Maltesers yet again. It's like he's trying to fatten me up. Oh god. Anyway. In a sense, it's good that everyone expects Celeste to be quite lousy at etiquette. After all, I have no idea how to curtsy or properly use the utensils or dance like a graceful noble lady. Since Celeste's skills didn't directly transfer to me, if she really had been a perfect lady, I would have suddenly looked like an imposter. Still, I don't want the Empress to think I'm worthless as a Saintess too. If she deems me inadequate like Father does, will she try to get rid of me so the Golden Bow can choose another saint? I don't think she has a very forgiving personality, judging by how much she hates her own son. Just when I gather my words to speak, the door to the throne room bursts open. Is this the third love interest entering? Ooh! A well-posed, tall, blonde man enters the room in a dramatic fashion, his cloak waving behind him in the sudden draft of air. He is Noah, Levi's love interest in the book. He's one of the most handsome guys I've ever seen, next to Levi and Elijah. His skin is darker than most Lakari Empire nobles, but only slightly. He inherited most of his features from the Empress. The current Emperor Consort is not Noah's father, but the previous consort was also from our allied country Durandal in the south. When he spots me, a smirk appears on his face. His red eyes shine with mischief.
Knock, knock. Did I miss anything?
I'm guessing he's like the cocky character.
Fashionably late as always, my son.
If I missed nothing, there was nothing to miss.
There was nothing to miss. Sorry.
This is the Saintess, right? Count Decorus' a tomboy daughter.
Decorus, right, okay. I hold back a groan. Even Noah knows about Celeste's reputation.
Yes, that's me.
You're good at archery, are you not? Better than you are at etiquette, at the very least.
Is that how Americans pronounce etiquette? Interesting.
Yes, I'm quite good with a bow.
Probably not as good as Celeste was, though, I presume, judging by her renowned reputation. At least I'm still good enough to shoot arrows with decent accuracy. I just need to practice a bit more and remember everything I learned in middle school.
Quite. Then you'll be perfect for the role of the Saintess.
Perfect! Why does this guy talk like this? It's so funny.
How can you say that? If a lacking individual takes up such a high role in the hierarchy of the Empire...
Yeah, you're right, this is a really pretty CG too. They all have been quite good.
All the Saintess needs to do is shoot the golden bow and hit the Demon Queen straight in the heart. Then the war will finally be over.
Sounds so simple, doesn't it?
Is that not what you want, Mother?
I want peace more than anything else.
It could be that Empress Morale doesn't want the end of peace because the situation currently is working in her favor or something, I don't know. That's a lie. With the army off fighting at the war front, the Empress feels more secure in her rule here in the capital. There you go. Do you question God's will, Empress? It is the Lord who has chosen Lady Celeste to be the Saintess of the Golden Bow. While Celeste may be lacking in some other areas, she asserts she's great at archery, and her reputation confirms her words. Right, Mother, so you shouldn't worry. Sorry, I can't help it, it's just so much fun. Lady Decoris will make an excellent Saintess. I wish I could share the faith those two have in me, still. Oh, right. I thought Bertie was choking or something for a moment there. No, he's playing now with a different toy. Anyway. I wish I could share the faith these two have in me. Still, I have to maintain a confident front, so I put on my brightest smile. Please don't worry about anything, Your Grace. I'll defeat the Demon Queen and bring peace to the Empire. Empress Morel gives me a long look. After a moment, the confident smirk that Noah inherited from her is back on her face. Excellent. Then there's nothing stopping us from proceeding with the mission to defeat the Demon Queen, is there? Noah, you'll be the one leading the Saintess quest. Noah's eyes widen. He opens his mouth, then closes it. But You will lead the Saintess's quest, and you will take the 20 best men from the palace guard, the Mage's Tower, and the church to accompany you. And you will leave in a month. In a month? So soon? Shock makes my heart beat erratic. With my current archery skills, I'm nowhere near ready to defeat a powerful enemy so soon. Is there a problem? You said you're great at using the bow, and that's all you need to be a successful Saintess, right? The Empress has really turned the tables on me. I can't deny her words, and neither can Noah. After all, we're the ones who just made those claims to her. I think out of all of them, I like Noah the most, though. He's definitely my favourite. I simply thought we'd have more time to prepare. There's no more time, not with the Demon Queen's army closing in more and more on the border, I'm guessing. I think you and the Saintess are ready enough. But do you question the Empress's judgment? The Emperor and Noah glare at each other. Noah doesn't respond. He finally just turns around and walks toward the door. Noah, you will prepare for the quest and depart in a month. As you wish, Your Grace. If it's not too much to ask, I want to accompany the Saintess and the Prince on their quest. Elijah's request surprises me for a moment until I remember that he wanted to join the mission when Levi was the saint as well. Are you sure, High Priest? You'll be leaving your office behind for 2 months. Yes, I'm sure. I'll take Gareth with me as well. Meredith can manage running the office on her own. I'll appoint some people to help her with the paperwork. The Saintess's quest will be a historic moment in the life of the Lakari Empire. I wouldn't want to miss witnessing the Saintess defeat the Demon Queen. He has strange tastes, but with Elijah's light magic, our success will be easier. I don't protest. We'll need all the help we can get. All right, you may go as well. Thank you, Your Grace. I will organize a ball to celebrate the finding of the Saintess tomorrow evening. Be sure to attend, all of you. I'm guessing here we get to pick who we dance with. We all reply we'll be there, and after some final departing words, we're dismissed. After the audience, I ask everyone to give me some time alone. I'm too overwhelmed by the recent events. I need some time to think. I take a sheet of paper and a quill, and I begin to scribble down my thoughts. I survived my death event, the demon attack in the woods near the Decaries mansion. That's why Levi is likely to continue to love Celeste and not become interested in anyone else. No, I can't assume anything. I really should ask him what he thinks about Noah and Elijah. He saw both of them during the audience, and he saw Elijah flirting with me during the magical checkup. I'm not really the Celeste Levi loves. I have her memories and a portion of her skills, but I'm basically Celine in Celeste's body. I'm not just Celeste recollecting a past life. Instead, I, Celine, have taken over Celeste's body at a pivotal moment of her current life. Does that mean Celeste is really dead? I don't sense her presence living in my body, which is a relief, truth be told. I prefer being alone with my thoughts. The idea of her passing is sad though, even if I'm conflicted about her treatment of Levi. I'm now the Saintess of the Golden Bow, a hero the whole Lucari Empire has been waiting for years, yet Levi was supposed to take on that role. Levi has been training to protect Celeste all his life. He's way more skilled at archery than I am. I have a month to train myself to use a bow properly. Not just any bow though, the Golden Bow. Which seems more ornamental than practical. Wielding that weapon will be a pain in the ass. What were the two components needed to defeat the Demon Queen again? The first one is firing an arrow imbued with the Golden Bow's light magic at the Demon Queen's heart and actually hitting the target. So I'll need to practice both archery and accessing the bow's magic. As someone who comes from Earth, I have no idea how to wield magic. The very concept of magical power coursing through my body is foreign to me. I suppose training with the bow will just take time, though I have little to spare. As for wielding its magic, that's something Elijah will know more about, given that he's a light magic user. I scribbled down that I need to talk to Elijah about the golden bow and its magic. Know thy enemy, they say, and right now my enemy until I master it is that bow. There's also a second component to defeating the Demon Queen, one that follows a story trope more than practical logic. Noah and Levi's love makes the magic of the golden bow stronger. How is that possible? I have no idea. Could Noah and Levi being in love even solve the problem anymore? No, it has to be the wielder of the bow that's in love for the magic to trigger properly, right? So I'll have to break up the couple that I shipped. It's a sad situation, but my survival is on the line. Unless I go for Elijah, that is. But he can't have a relationship with anybody outside of the church, which is another complication. First, I need to determine if Elijah and Noah are even interested in women. If they're not, any relationship with me would be impossible. As for me, I can't imagine falling in love with someone in 2 months. Love is such a difficult topic for me. I don't trust to fall in love easily. It's hard when you witness a divorce firsthand, and to your parents nonetheless. The whole situation with my parents' divorce made falling in love not something I can easily imagine happening to me. Ugh, I'm so screwed. I'm scared. The situation isn't just a story in a book anymore, it's my reality. Levi, Elijah, Noah, Eurydice, Father, the Empress, they're all real people. They aren't acting according to script either. The plot of the book has changed. It's a real world now with unpredictable consequences. And I'm at the center of this new story. Levi dies at the end of the book, despite defeating the Demon Queen, despite Noah's love for him. Will I die again too? Or will that aspect of the story change as well? No, I can't give up. I must change reality and my fate. It's not like me to mope around and feel defeated. I'm the master of my own destiny. If I have to fall in love with someone, who should it be? Levi, who blindly adores his lady? Noah, who has been burdened with leading his mission to defeat the Demon Queen? Elijah, who is a priest and can't marry someone unless they're part of the church? Or should I pick someone else entirely? I at least have to admit that all three of them are handsome men. I just hope my own baggage isn't going to drag me down. Oh no, I've got so many choices. Okay. Will I become cold and detached if I enter into a relationship with any of them, just like I did with my ex-boyfriend? It's been a while since high school, but I'm still hung up about how things turned out between us. Don't force it. Just, chill out with this guy, see how things go. Who knows, he might be someone who can deal with your, issues and cold-heartedness. Well, it's not cold-heartedness, just the tendency to give the cold shoulder. He might be understanding and have the capacity to accept you as that person. And then once you identify that, then you can start, further exploring your feelings. There'll be someone who can accept her difficulties. But then the problem is she able to accept his difficulties? Like, it is a give and take after all. MC being too real, my heart. I know, right? It's such a common thing, I think, for people to have this issue. Yeah, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, they need to communicate about it, otherwise it wouldn't work out. It's been a while since high school, but I'm still hung up about how things turned out between us. Welcome back, Transparent Games! Can someone like me even make a guy fall in love with her within a month? My heart is beating so quickly. Now that I realize what's really at stake and what I have to do, I'm terrified. Should I ask Levi what he thinks about Elijah and Noah? Let me go back quickly again. Should I ask Levi what he thinks? I feel like I should. I'm going for Noah. That is the character I'm going for. It's best I make things clear between us. I need to talk to Levi about Noah and Elijah. Unless that increases points with Levi because we're about to talk to him. My Otome gamer brain is ticking right now. I open the door to my room and look outside. Levi is standing there, guarding the door. He looks at me with a gentle smile and gives me a small nod. Levi, could you step into my room for a moment? I want to talk to you. Of course. I take a step to the side, letting Levi enter the room. My heart is beating quickly and I clench my hand on my dress. Levi seems to notice my That's another thing that I've picked up from my mother. It's with Japanese, like, I don't know what it is, but the S and TH gets all mixed up sometimes. And I've picked up that from obviously growing up around my mum. Doesn't show that often, but when it does, I'm like, ah. Oh. Levi seems to notice my unease, his expression turning into one of concern. Celeste. I push my fear aside and decide to just outright ask him. Say, Levi, what do you think about Prince Noah? The Mad Prince? That's the title? Yeah, that's what everyone calls him, right? He's known to always antagonize the Empress with his words and attitude, but he's never done anything that could be considered a crime against the crown. The Empress delegated part of the responsibilities for maintaining the order in the palace to Prince Noah, as per the Lokari Empire laws on succession. He needs to learn how to manage the Empire as the heir, and from what I have heard, he's doing a good job and is very dedicated to his work. Unfortunately, according to the Empress. So despite the fact that he's not very diplomatic with his words, I think he'll make a good emperor in the future. I see, that wasn't what I was asking though. I wanted to know what you think about Noah personally. Are you sure I'm allowed to voice my opinion on the future emperor? I look around and gesture to the room. It's just you and I here. I suppose that's right. I'm not going to tell on you. Yes, I know that. Well, I think Noah is too brash in the way he speaks. I really didn't like his attitude towards you during the audience. Levi's, he's like that guard dog that's so loyal, you know? That's still not what I wanted to know. Do you think Noah is attractive? Many people do. He's had a few past relationships here and there, though he avoids casual flings. That still doesn't answer my question. Yeah, I think Prince Noah is attractive. And now that you hold the position of the Saintess, he would make a great match for you. Oh, does Noah like women? He's had 2 female and 2 male partners in the past. Bingo, I just got all the information I needed about Noah from Levi. I suppose you becoming the future Empress wouldn't be bad for you. Levi has a pained expression on his face. Imagining me with Noah must be difficult for him. Oh, I love the bittersweetness, so cute. What about High Priest Elijah? What about him? Do you also find him attractive? that reaction. You're not trying to set me up with someone again, are you? Oops, I got Levi angry. From Celeste's memories, I know they've had conversations similar to this one in the past. I don't know what the right answer to his question is. There is none. If I say I'm asking for myself, he'll be sad that I'm looking at guys other than him. If I refuse to answer, he'll continue thinking I'm trying to pair him with one of the guys. That's not why I was asking. I just wanted to know your opinion. I'm not buying it. Why the High Priest and Prince Noah out of all people? They're of such different standing than I am anyway. I couldn't possibly be in a relationship with either of them. A difference in social standing hadn't stopped Levi from falling in love with Celeste, or from falling in love with Noah in the book, for the matter, though I did remember him being hung up on status differences in the novel as well. Yes, both are attractive guys. I could see myself being with either of them if our situations were different, but he gives me another pained look. It's because he likes her. He's in love with me, is what he's trying to say, but he can't allow himself to tell the truth. At least Levi gave me the information about Noah that I wanted to know. I don't want the conversation between Levi and me to get any more difficult, so I suppose I'll end things here. That's for talking to me about this, Levi. I'd like to be alone now. Levi gives me a look, as if I'm throwing him out after dealing him a blow. In a way I am, and it pains me to do so, but I don't know how to salvage this conversation. Have a good rest. Levi exits the room, closing the door behind him gently. I lie down in bed and hide my face against the pillow. I'm so stressed by everything that I'm not even surprised when tears stream down my cheeks, soaking the bedding. I didn't want to hurt Levi, but I didn't know how else to obtain the information I needed so I could decide what to do to save everyone. For the first time since reincarnating, I give in to all the emotions that have built up inside of me. I'm just one young girl. How can I carry so many heavy burdens? Eventually, I cry myself to sleep. I toss and turn all night though, unable to get any real rest until nearly dawn. Okay, I'm guessing this is the grand ball where we get to dance with whomever we please. Or all of them. Not complaining with either option. I'm definitely gunning for Noah though. He's my pick. The next evening, Linda gets me all dolled up for the grand ball the Empress is throwing in my name. At the ball, I find myself sitting at the table staring at silverware I have no idea how to properly use. Celeste's memories aren't helping me much. The servant puts a salad in front of me and I pick up one of the forks. Right, look at everyone else, main character. Look at everyone else and do what they're doing. There's an offended gasp from my left. I look at the noble lady sitting next to me. Oh, she looks evil. She's almost purple in the face, staring down at the fork I'm holding. Wrong piece of cutlery then. I put it down and take another in my hand. I steal a sideways glance at the noble lady. She doesn't seem to be offended anymore. This one must be the right fork then. When everyone starts eating, I dig into the salad too, but it tastes like paper to me. I'm nervous, my hands are clammy.
So you've become the Saintess, Lady d'Aquarius.
Oh. Oh, who is he? He is my type out of all of them. Look how dodgy he looks. The man to my right, Duke George. If Celeste's memory serves me correctly, strikes up a conversation with me. The elites of this empire need to chill a bit, they really do. It's bloody cutlery. Also, may I just add that I love the fact that there's like al fresco at the top with like the little angels flying around. That's kind of a nice little detail. I like that. That's good. He's a young duke and a powerful player on the battlefield of Lakari Empire's politics. Wrong fork. I'll have to do my best not to say or do anything strange.
Yes, despite my surprise, the golden bow has chosen me.
Now that you carry such an important role, do you plan to improve your knowledge of etiquette?
Is he a secret love interest? Because if he is, Noah, Elijah, and Levi doesn't exist for all I care. He points at my salad. Oh, come on. What am I doing wrong this time? Ooh, it's got avocado in it. Looks good. I'm embracing the millennial in me. The Duke smiles, but his expression isn't unkind.
You have no idea what you're doing wrong, do you?
Is that an English accent? Like a hint of an English accent I hear? Sorry, I get very excited because like it's just funny, you know?
I don't.
May I?
He extends his hand to me and, when I don't protest, he touches my hand gently to modify the way I'm holding my fork. Ooh.
Oh, come on, George. You're spoiling the fun.
The lady to my left has a cruel smile on her face. His eyes so cute though, I know, right? Yeah, definitely my favourite so far. Shoot, I really was eating the salad wrong after all. My cheeks heat up from embarrassment, and suddenly I find it hard to breathe. For every kind person like Duke George, there's a cruel one like that lady here, a vulture, just waiting for me to make a mistake. Now that I'm the Saintess, I will be watched even more closely than Celeste was as a Mayor Count's daughter. They're all going to be laughing for weeks about the way I ate this stupid salad, I just know it. Celeste's memory tells me that this incident won't be the first time she's ruined her reputation with a stupid mistake either. Oh my god. Excuse me. I can't be here anymore. I have to get some fresh air or else I will hyperventilate. Are you okay? Duke George calls after me, but I walk quickly to the terrace. Once I'm away from the throne room, I run into the gardens. I stop only when I reach a small lake. Here, I put my arms around my frame, trying to control my breathing. Breathe, Celine, in and out, in and out. Don't cry, don't cry. You'll ruin the makeup Linda spent hours putting on you to make you look like a real noble lady. Didn't think I would run into you here. I turn around when I hear the voice. It's Noah. He's drawn his sword and his usual mocking demeanour is not present. He's completely serious when... Oh! Okay. Maybe I do like Noah after all. Noah and Duke George is kind of on the same level, you know? I like that CG. He suddenly puts his sword against my throat. My heart beats so loudly that it feels like it could jump out of my chest, this time from fear. Does Noah want to kill me?
I wish I could just kill you and be done with it.
He does. But why? Suddenly I remembered the scene. I fangirled over it when I was reading the novel. This is the scene where Noah puts his sword to Levi's throat. It's overly dramatic, and most of the readers of the novel interpret it as a romantic interaction. We talked about the event for hours on the Webnovel's forums. But now I think this setup is just ridiculous. I could take a step back at any time from the coldness of steel and my neck would be safe. I give Noah a long stare. He's looking at me seriously, as if he's really pondering if he should harm me. I don't believe he actually will. I will entertain his antics for a while longer, just to see what he has to say to me. I want to know how much the scene changes with me here instead of Levi.
Why do you want me dead?
Because you're the reason I have to go on the mission to kill the Demon Queen. And so soon. If anybody less capable than you had been chosen as the Saintess, Mother wouldn't have told us to leave within a mere month.
I'm glad he thinks so highly of my archery skills, especially considering how little the nobles think of my etiquette skills. But he's wrong.
I may not be as great at archery as you think.
That fact would change nothing at this point. Mother is now convinced you can defeat the Fiend. This is a suicide mission. None of us will come back from the quest.
Even though I remember this line from the book, my eyes widen.
How do you know we won't return?
His words almost feel oddly like foreshadowing for what happens in the book. Noah seems to seriously believe what he's saying, and the author probably had already decided by this point that the main character's going to die, and this is most definitely foreshadowing, and I find it exciting that she had already planned how it's going to end at this point and was sort of sneering at the readers like, I know something you don't.
20 people going deep into demon-ravaged lands to enter the Demon Queen's castle and kill her. What could possibly go wrong?
He's really convinced we're going to die on this quest. I can see the desperation in his eyes.
Can't you convince your mother to postpone the day we leave or to increase the amount of people we can bring with us?
I've already tried. She doesn't want to listen. It's almost as if she wants to set us up for failure.
Oh, Noah, you're closer to the truth than you think. I can't tell him anything about his mother's plan to get rid of him. He would just go suspicious if someone he barely knows, spouted such important information about his life. I should only tell him what's really going on with the Empress when, or if, we become friends during the quest.
Look, I'm afraid of the mission too. But I don't want to give up. I won't just roll over and die. I'll keep fighting until the very end. No matter how the mission ends, I want to be sure I've done everything I can to fulfill my role properly.
Noah's eyes widen.
You're right. I can't just give up.
20 people? Still more than the Fellowship of the Ring. You'll be fine. I love that. I must also see the mission through until the end. I almost thought of telling you to kill me. I'm sure you'll do great on the quest. It sounds so like surface level. I'll go for this one. Does this mean you don't want to kill me anymore? I almost thought of telling you to do it just to see if you really would. I laugh to lighten the mood, but my voice comes out breathless. I'm still afraid of my future, but at least Noah has distracted me from what happened in the throne room. I wasn't really serious about killing you in the first place. Are you sure? You looked plenty serious to me. Despite everything, I don't want you to die, and I want to live too. I'm glad. Don't die, Your Grace. Just Noah is fine. We're teammates now, I suppose. I like the sound of that. Noah smiles back. He seems much more relaxed now. I'll continue trying to get Mother to delay the deadline for us to leave. I would appreciate more time to train. Right. Time to go back to ball then. Without sparing me another glance, Noah walks past me towards the terrace. I watch him until he disappears between the carefully trimmed bushes of the palace garden. I look out at the water of the lake and take a few deep breaths. I really hadn't expected Levi's scene with Noah to play out for me. I also didn't end up responding the way Levi would have done. Our encounter didn't turn romantic at all. Yet my heart is beating quickly regardless because I'm still scared about so many things. The stress is catching up to me. I fall to my knees on the soft grass. I can't hold back my tears any longer. In the end, I'm just a girl, caught up in so many responsibilities. I'm tired, I'm terrified. I want it all to stop. No matter how much I cry though, this new reality won't magically change for me. I'm still Celeste, and I'm still the Saintess. The sooner I accept my fate and put my energy into the few things I can still change, the better. With a renewed purpose, I get up and start walking back to my room. Screw the ball. I'm not going back there only to be ridiculed further. I don't want the whole imperial court to continue watching how terrible I am at being a noble lady. Oh god, why did I click it twice? If I had more time before the quest, I would take lessons to get better etiquette. However, with the way the situation has unfolded, I'll have to focus only on improving my archery and horseback riding skills. Besides, the future of the Empire doesn't depend on me knowing which fork to use for a salad, but it certainly does hang on me using the golden bow properly. I'm walking down the corridor towards the apartment where my family is staying when I hear someone running behind me. Celeste! Levi calls me by my first name, like he always does when it's just him and Celeste. It's something the two of them agreed to do when they were younger. Levi stops before me and looks me up and down. Where have you been? I didn't notice when you left the throne room. You're not supposed to go anywhere without me. Father's orders. I know. I just forgot. I realise I haven't been thinking about how Levi would feel if I suddenly disappeared yet again. I'm not concerned about failing to follow his orders. I am genuinely worried about you. I like this music. He blushes and looks away. My heartbeat quickens. Why, though? Celeste has no romantic feelings towards Levi. But do I? I must admit he's very handsome and kind, and he's my favourite character from the book. Am I that much of a simp? I let out a long sigh. Levi looks back at me with a worried expression, then he looks me up and down again. You're all right, are you not? He focuses on my face and frowns. You've been crying? He must notice my smudged makeup. I was, but I feel better now. I'm just gonna pick all the good options. I was, but I feel better now. What made you cry? When I see the sincere worry on Levi's face, I want to tell him the truth. I'm just overwhelmed by suddenly becoming the Saintess, by having to carry the burden of saving the whole empire. I look down, tears welling up in my eyes again. Celeste. I look back up to see Levi staring at me with love and adoration. It hurts because it hurts being on the receiving end of such feelings, knowing that they aren't really for me. No matter what happens, know that I'll always stay by your side. I'm sorry to drag you into this quest with me. He would have been caught up in this mess anyway if he were the saint, but now he's coming along anyway as Celeste's knight. What if Levi dies protecting me? My heart feels heavy. Oh yeah, I can imagine that being an ending. She doesn't die. Instead, he does, because it's inevitable for him to die and the main character needs to survive, and it's like a bad ending for him. I can see that happening. I must do my best to get as strong as possible. Don't say that. I swore to always protect you, did I not? Back when I became your knight. Remember? I recall Celeste's memory of that time. They were both 14 back then, and Levi took a knee in front of her and swore he would protect her until death did them part. He made his vow with such sincerity and fervour. Yet I'm not the one whom he swore to always stay beside. That person was Celeste, so he should be free of the oath since Celeste is kind of dead. I can't tell him the truth though. On the spur of a moment, I gesture towards Levi. Lean down, please. You're too tall. Too tall for what? Levi gives me a puzzled look but complies with my request. Aww. Oh, that is cute. I press up on my toes and kiss him on the cheek. Not as Celeste, but as Celine, because I genuinely feel grateful to him and don't know how else to express myself right now.
Celeste?
Oh, my heart. When characters get all flustered, it's so cute. Levi blushes a deep red and gets flustered. Only when I lean back and smile at him do I realise I shouldn't be doing something so intimate to a man who loves the woman who once inhabited this body. I might be sending him the wrong message, especially after our earlier conversation.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I just wanted to express my gratitude.
I let out a sigh.
You always do your very best to protect me. Thank you, Levi.
You're welcome, but it's my job to take care of you.
I know you're not doing it just because it's your job.
Levi gives me a startled look. I turn around and start walking towards my room before he can reply. Let's go, Levi. We need to rest. Training starts tomorrow. This, makes me think of summer holidays. I don't know. I think it's because it kind of gives off, Spain or some sort of more, some sort of more southern European country. and like it makes me think of going to the palaces of that location and exploring it. So I don't know, this whole scene gives me like nice warm feelings. I don't know if I'm making sense. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I may end this stream here just because I have read quite a bit and my throat is getting a bit dry. Let me go to... Oh god, this is annoying. But I don't know, what did you guys think? I thought it was quite fun. I think as someone obviously reading it out, it was quite, there was quite a lot of description, so there was a lot of talking involved, but I think that's kind of a good thing in that you kind of, I don't know how to put it, but obviously you can kind of picture the world a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know what you guys thought. It's very like your kind of, I think typical is the wrong word. I think it's very much a fantasy vibe. I think it does remind me a little bit of Shattered Souls. Very self-aware Isekai, yeah. It was fun, thanks for the stream, bye. Okay, Hika, thank you for coming by. Now, I think the next indie otome that I will be streaming, and it will be on Wednesday. I haven't even replied to them because I'm that unorganized. But it's called Lover's Enigma, and it's a romance mystery VN with psychological horror aspects. Hopefully no jump scares. I will message them asking if there is. But yeah, so that's kind of in the plans. That one looks a bit more like dark, creepy, which is a complete contrast to this one, which is more like happy and fantasy and colourful, you know? But anyway, yeah, I think I'll end it there. Sorry, I'm just being a bit like quiet, aren't I? But yeah, thank you guys for coming along. It was lots of fun. Oh yeah, if you would like to tip me for my time, I have put the link in the description. It's this, but it's obviously not obligatory because I don't really expect it. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content though, because that actually really helps me. And you have to stream playing the favorite one day. I'll look into it, Varga. I'll look into it. But anyway, thank you guys for coming along. It was lots of fun. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and hopefully I will see you again. Bye!